Hello everyone, welcome you all for this episode of Startup Story Series. My name is Guna, I'm a startup coach and the author of the book Startup Recipe. Today in this episode, we have a very special person, one of my good friends, Leela with us, who completed her chemical engineering and MBA, and she had 16 plus years of corporate experience working in various industries like pharma, manufacturing, automobile, chemical industry, food and beverage industry, you name it, almost many industries she has gone through. And then she started pursuing her passion and she entered into entrepreneurship journey as a career coach. She started coaching people on how they can go to the next level in their career. And so far, she has trained more than 4,000 people. And she is here with us today to share her experience in her entrepreneurship journey, through which we are going to learn a lot. So, welcome, Leela, for this show of Startup Story series.
Thank you so much, Guna. And it's been always a pleasure to interact with you and to work with you. I look forward for the interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Leela, for joining here and for giving your time. So, as you know, the Startup Stories is more for aspiring entrepreneurs who want to start their businesses. So, why am I bringing a lot of successful entrepreneurs like you in this show is because they always think entrepreneurship is something big because they are looking at big people by reading their biographies or by watching some videos. So I want to make sure, I want to reach to them that every entrepreneur started small. They were just a person like you and me, and then they grew. So that's how I wanted to communicate to all aspiring entrepreneurs. That's what I'm doing in this startup series with more entrepreneurs. So to start with, what I want you to share is how you started your entrepreneur journey, because you worked in so many different industries and more than 16 years of corporate experience. It is not easy to make a decision to come out of that and to start something on your own, because after 16 years you will be definitely in a high paying level. So if it means if you're coming out of that and starting something, then definitely it is something not easy to do. So how did you choose to become an entrepreneur?
I would say, Guna, yes, as you very rightly put it, I had a beautiful corporate experience. I was heading marketing and communications, and I'm sure diversity is a major factor in the corporates. Okay, so we have very few women who are in marketing and communications, especially in the industrial marketing sector. And it was a good place to be in. A few good friends as colleagues, yeah. So we were looking at how do we
I just
contribute.
lost you some 10 seconds. Can you just go back 10 seconds and just share? We just lost you in between. So you said,
Okay.
yeah, maybe you
So
can start from how do you become an entrepreneur from that itself so that it is clear. Yeah, please.
okay. So I said I didn't plan to be an entrepreneur. It kind
Okay.
of entrepreneurship happened to me. Okay. It was not that I was wanting to start a business, or it was a coffee table conversations that started in 2012 where we started looking at we are so talented. Everybody, each one of us have our strengths, and how do we actually use that for a larger purpose? At that point of time, I honestly didn't know what my life's purpose was.
Okay.
And but that conversation kept playing in my mind, and I kept inquiring, and a lot of times I felt even in my career that I could do much more than what I was doing. And I had many conversations with my managers also at that point of time, and they kept offering me. It's not like they were not offering me, okay, but still there was an inner voice that kept telling, no, you're meant for larger things, you're meant for larger things. And I honestly didn't know what it was. So in 2016, my travel involved a lot of, my career involved a lot of travel. And what happened is I developed spondylitis. Yeah. And because it got very worse, I had to take a break for maybe 1 month of bed rest is what my doctors suggested to me.
Okay.
Minimum 2 to 3 weeks. And then I took a month off, and that changed my life completely.
Okay.
I asked myself these questions. What am I doing? Who am I? And am I really bringing my talents out? I didn't know what the answers to be for this, but I knew that there was a larger calling. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how to define it. I was myself really lost. Yeah. Then a beautiful book called Strength-Based Parenting came to my hand.
Okay.
So I wanted to be a good parent, and anyway, I was on bed rest. So I was reading stuff and I was kind of keeping myself engaged. There I found the Gallup Strength Finder test code in that book.
Okay.
I took that test and that shocked me, this is because this report is like almost 90% who I am.
Okay.
Then I started, kind of identifying, I got to know that every person has their unique talents and there is a way in which you can actually identify what your talents are. Then, this thought started coming in saying how I can help people identify what their talents are.
Okay.
But still it was not yet, completely formed. And another mind of mine kept saying, yeah, now you're recovering. Maybe you should get back to your career, as you very rightly said. A good package.
Yeah.
I had what I really wanted in terms of a career, the name, the fame, the aspirations part of it. But then there was this voice also which kept telling, maybe you should try something different. Okay. That's when I spoke to my husband. My husband, he really supported me. He's like, Lali, they call me Lali at home. If you really want to try it, go ahead and try it. Don't stop yourself. So, but just know one thing, it's like a free fall. I remember him telling that day, it's like a free fall. You don't know when the parachute opens, but it will open eventually. Okay. And even if there is a crash, you should be ready for it. But knowing you, there will be a parachute that will open up, but just go for it. Okay. So I did that, and still I was feeling a little lost and worried. That's when Murli Sundaram, I think you know Murli very well, right? Yeah, he's the executive director.
Coached from him. Yeah.
Yeah. So Murli is my coach, and I spoke to Murli, and Murli is like, go ahead and give it a shot. What's there to lose, So that really supported me. And then I started diving deep on helping people understand their talents. So I enrolled up for Gallup certification. I became a Gallup's coach. But then what kept coming to me is, when I started seeing where would this help, I truly believe in karma yoga. Okay. I believe in that you're here to offer something back to the universe. You got to do your karma right. In the sense, when I'm talking of karma here, it is more connected to your work. Okay. So you got to contribute to the society through your talents in some area of work. Yeah. And that kept calling me. And that's when I chose to be a career coach. But still there was this last thread lying, because I kept getting calls from my offices.
New
very good offers.
Okay.
So I kind of was thinking, ye kya karo yaar? Yahan pe to I was not making any money at that point of time. I didn't even know how to approach this. I was totally lost. And but I was learning. That was the only good thing. And there is a set career. People are wanting me back at work, and it was a little confusing for me at that point. That's when Arul Dev is my transformation coach, I would say. I work with he helped me a lot in terms of coaching with depth. So I had this conversation with Arul, and he helped me identify my own talent themes, both at the mind and the body level, and how this perfectly fitted it.
Okay.
That one conversation kind of shut the door for me. And from that day, Guna, I have got calls from a lot of my organizations. I always refer them people. In fact, this Sunday also I had a conversation with one of my ex-colleagues. He has moved to another organization. He's like, Neela, I want you to do marketing for us. Okay. I told him, sorry, Krishna, I cannot. I can guide you to the right people. But this is my passion. This is what I want to do in life.
Okay.
This is my karma bhumi type.
Okay.
So then I started doing a lot of research work. I kind of interned with the entrepreneur cell in IISc and framed a lot of modules around career coaching, working with career coaches in US.
Okay.
So if you ask me one thing good I have done in my life is, Guna, I've always had a coach in my life.
Okay.
I truly believe a coach is somebody who shows you the light. You have to walk that path, no doubt about it. You have to fall, you have to get up. Nobody is going to help you on that. But to show you have to go on this highway to
Okay.
reach this place,
Okay.
to give that clarity. It's like a
Absolutely.
lighthouse.
Yes. Truly agree with you. Yes.
Yeah, so this is where coaches have really helped me a lot. So I work with career coaches in US. I learned it from them, and I work with a lot of, I mean, again, Murli is somebody who helped me a lot in terms of putting my plan in place and supporting me and taking this journey off in a good way. Right now also, I'm kind of always associated with coaches. So right now Arul is helping me a lot in terms of depth coaching. So it's not just you're coaching at the mind level, but how can you actually get deeper in your coaching? So I think it's very important to have a coach to help you. Yeah. So that's how my journey began, and I kind of chose
Leela,
to be a
because
career
you
coach.
said you were after coming after 16 years of experience and then you started your entrepreneurship, there are a lot of people who are in corporate world who have a few years experience or 5 years, 10 years. They want to start their entrepreneurship journey. They may have some idea. They have a dream of becoming an entrepreneur. But what should they do right now? How do they prepare themselves according to you so that they can be successful in their entrepreneurship journey? So what should they do right now?
Superb. That's a brilliant question, because I work with a lot of employees, right? And employees are one segment, I would say more than 60% of our employee population is unhappy in some way or the other and dissatisfied. This is not me saying, this is research that has said it. Okay, so there is Gallup statistics around it as well. So a lot of these people would want to be entrepreneurs. Okay, very beautifully, there are two types of entrepreneurs, Guna. One is need-driven entrepreneurs, one is purpose-driven entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's very important to identify which category you are. So some of them get frustrated with their boss or the organization culture, or sometimes, because of some frustration, they would want to get out and say, okay, I'm good at this, let me start that. That is not bad. Okay, most of the entrepreneurs still are there. But then you got to understand what is driving you. And you got to really push yourself appropriately on that. Whereas there are people who have a larger purpose in place and they kind of are driven by the purpose. So if you look at it, Jack Ma, you look at Steve, you look at Bill Gates, these are all guys not driven really by, quarters or,
It's a long-term purpose, long-term dream which they work with. Yes.
Yeah. So it is the purpose that drives you. Okay. So coming back to your question, when people want to take on being entrepreneurship, what is your driving force for being that is very important. Okay. So if you're very clear that you have a beautiful offering, so start working on it while you are still at work. So this is what I, tell. I kind of work around employees, and if you see a spark of being an entrepreneur, then you should take that up. But you should start gaining building your muscles around it, is what I say.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, because you may be an expert in making lights, for example. But you are an expert only in making lights. But entrepreneurship is not just making lights. You know that better than me.
Yes. Yes. It is not just creating something, and you have many other departments to be handled. Yes.
Exactly. So it is important to know what your strengths are, what you can bring to table, and you should also know what you are not good at.
Yes.
So this is the work that we do in helping them know कि भाई तू ये ला सकता है अपने table पे, and these are things that you need to see how you have to manage, and nobody can do everything, Guna. You know that.
Correct.
Yeah, you got to rely on the experts for the right thing.
Exactly.
But a lot of time as entrepreneurs, what happens is you would want to do everything. So you will miss that passion area. You are good at making lights here. So, make better lights. If you're not good at marketing, then find the right people to market it.
Yep.
So this clarity is something I think as entrepreneurs you need to get, because I'm sure we have business coaches, we have mentors who kind of help us, and we have a beautiful ecosystem of specialists with whom you can actually collaborate. And another wrong thing is, you want, as entrepreneurs, we want to do everything ourselves, you know. That's again is not a great formula for success.
Definitely. So Leela, like you were into corporate world for many years, which means there is a total different environment when you got into entrepreneurship. So what are the few mistakes which you did in your initial entrepreneurship journey, which you later thought, okay, if it is good that if I never did that mistake, or I should have corrected it earlier, some mistakes to be pointed out. Why? Because that will definitely help people who are starting right now to understand better and how what they should do and what they should not.
Okay, you asked me if, see, I kind of quit my job and started actually discovering that I wanted to be a career coach, and I started working around it. In my case, thankfully, I'm not the breadwinner for the family.
Okay.
So my husband, you know, takes care of it. And but a lot of times what happens is, people, as you very nicely put it, you know, you would want to be an entrepreneur, but there is a birthing stage for it. So you might as well finish that birthing stage while you're working. Yeah. Or even if you do that, you will have to see, in your case, I mean, not in your case, but in some people's cases, they'll be the bread earner for the family.
Correct.
Okay? So how do you manage the risk part of it? So if you ask me what mistakes I did, I would say, in my case, quitting my job and taking this upon is not something that I would call as a mistake that I did. But initially, I was not clear of what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Right? Because it took me almost 2016 March is when I quit my job.
Okay.
For me to actually decide that I want to be a career coach and work on it, it took me almost around 9 months.
Okay. So that
so 2017.
Can be spent. So your advice is that can be spent, that time can be spent during when somebody is in on their corporate career, and they can finish it off, and they can be very clear by the time they can come out. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is when you approach a career coach and you have this conversation, then it becomes clearer in your life ki I want to take this step 2 years from now, and then you kind of understand what in you supports, and you can actually kind of build a system so that you are able to contribute there as well, and as well as you start building your muscle around it.
Yep.
Yeah, so that is what it took me. It took me time to actually get up, and of course, at some point I had to quit my job, even if I was working, because I was doing a lot of intense work with, you know, like on the career coaching part of it. So that, I think, nobody else will give you that kind of a time in the corporate career, right? Okay. So that is one thing. And initially, I got into a lot of wrong propositions by friends and people I didn't even know, because I had a marketing and communication expertise. So people wanted to take advantage of that, and I kind of got into a lot of wrong associations, I would say.
Okay.
So my advice is, be very clear of what you want to do and dive deep into it. Okay. So it's like, you know, I want to be a career coach. It's going to take me some time being a career coach. Till then I'll do this. Till then I'll do that. You know, you try to put your hand in a lot of things that doesn't work.
Understood. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And that's a good tip for every aspiring entrepreneur who's currently working in a corporate environment. And if you have to mention the challenges in your entrepreneurship journey, that can be in the beginning stage or even after that, what kind of challenges you had? Becoming a
one of the challenges, Guna, is I didn't know how to go about it. Like, then I was not a part of BNI. Now that I'm a part of BNI, then I didn't know how to go about starting my company, right? So you find these fancy advertisements with India filing, and you go with these packages, and then you realize after you take up that doesn't work. So I really wish like I had this network, or I was connected to the right people who could help me start my entrepreneurial journey very well. And I think that's where a coach like you comes in, in terms of helping people start up. What you do is something that I wish I had at that point of time, somebody to tell me, okay, what kind of a company I should establish, and how do you go about it. Even for an MSME certification, certificate, you kind of get looted these days. Okay, but it's really so simple to actually work.
Yeah.
You don't realize these things. That's when, if you have a guide, a coach, they'll help. In my case, Murli actually connected me to, when I had to get my Yo logo patented, Murli actually helped me with the right connect. Otherwise, India Filings was taking me for a toss actually. I know I'm bringing the name out, but that really happened. Okay, Murli. So I really wish I knew how to, I wish at that point of time I knew how to go about the entrepreneurial journey. For me, getting into BNI at one point really did help me, because it's like you have so many people who are an expert in their businesses, and it becomes very easy to connect and get the right kind of contacts. But again, to know how do you go about it, a coach like you would be like great help, I would say, because
Definitely.
it's not about the right.
Yeah, I understood the challenges with their face, small things, but they may not have clarity on what kind of company I should register with, and whether I should trademark like this, or what is my business model, etc. They need a lot of, there are a lot of challenges for entrepreneurs, as aspiring entrepreneurs. That's when I'm also helping them, a lot of them, like where they have a lot of questions which they need answers with clarity, which is not there outside. There's, like you said, definitely it is there. Even many years back, when I had to understand something, it took a lot of time for me to understand what is it actually when it comes to entrepreneurship. So you have trained more than 4,000 people in career coaching. You worked in 16 years in corporate experience, all put together. What will be your tip or advice or suggestion? It can be one and it can be more, for all the aspiring entrepreneurs out there, not only corporate world, people from corporate world who are coming and starting a business, but generally, I'm just asking, what will be your tips, suggestions for all those people out there who want to start a business?
Guna, my very first thing for people, whether they want to start a business or whether they want to do something meaningful in their career, is to please first invest your time in knowing yourself. Like, know what your talents are, know what your strengths are, know how you're wired, know what your blueprint is like. Really connect with who you are and what your purpose in life is. Okay? Only then can you bring your best in your career, because you know the game that you're playing. Yeah. So you may be, you may think you're a great batsman, and you may be doing great as a batsman, but actually when you kind of go out and when you play only other games, that's when you will know. Like, you may be a great batsman, but you need to know what in you drives you to be a great batsman. Right. Because what drives you is what actually kind of can help you expand yourself as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So you need to know your innate wiring, okay, what ticks you on. So that is something I would say everybody should invest their time in knowing yourself.
What will be other tips, if you have to give 2-3 other tips or suggestions for somebody who's starting? So what will you tell them?
Know yourself, know how you're wired is the first thing. Know your business. Of course, you cannot be an expert and you cannot know all, because that's something that's always evolving. But once you're very clear of what is the driving force behind you, go for it. Because learning is something that's ongoing. You cannot learn everything and then come and start playing the game, right? So as you play the game, you start learning. So, because I know a lot of people who would want to be perfectionists. A lot of my clients only, no, I will do this, not now, I'll do this, and then I will take on this.
They will never start. They will never start. Yeah. They'll wait for the right time, and the right time will never come, because there is nothing called.
There is no right time. The right time is when you are ready inside.
Yeah.
So the point is, what can only be stopping you from being ready inside is fear. and fear of failure.
Yeah.
How do you know it is fear of failure that is stopping you? Is when that light ahead is so strong that it puts this fear of failure down. So what is the purpose you are working for? Let that purpose be the guiding light for you. The moment you align to that larger purpose, no Guna, all the small challenges kind of automatically disappear. So you wake up to that larger challenge. You wake up to the sun in your life, right? Okay, so don't wait. Don't kill yourself to become perfect enough to, start something. When there is an authentic calling, go for it. Listen to your inner voice. Do that.
Exactly.
That would be the second thing. And the third advice would be, Guna, take help. Okay, not everybody is meant to solve all problems. You don't have to solve all problems yourself. A lot of times it's really important to take help, to ask for help. So as entrepreneurs, we get stuck in that world, trying to battle things ourselves, right? So that's when I feel there are experts and you can reach out to them. So go ahead and take help when you require.
Super. Thank you for all the suggestions. I like this one thing where you can't learn everything and start. You have to start and then learn on the go. That's what it is, because a lot of people think that I will learn everything completely. I will get 100% knowledge and then I will jump into entrepreneurship. But there were nobody like that before. They learned everything and just started. So everybody started and then we start just learned on the go, and that's an experience through which we can learn. So you just covered that very well. So thank you, Leela, for sharing a lot of things in the short interview. I think our aspiring entrepreneurs who are watching the show have got so many insights from your journey and from your sharings. So thank you very much for coming and joining this show, for sharing all this information. Thank you, Leela. And
thank
for
you
all
so much, Guna.
yeah, and for all those aspiring entrepreneurs, please share this video to as much as people as possible, so that it will also help them to understand how they can go to the next level in their life, how they can start their business, what are small things which they can correct within them. So this is what I want to share with you, and I'm going to meet you again in the next episode of Startup Story series with one more successful entrepreneur with their successful entrepreneurship journey and the insights. So thank you very much for watching this. See you in the next Startup Stories episode. Thank you.
Thank you, folks.